Have no fear, the brothers are back, and we're here to talk about Between Two Cities.
So, Between Two Cities is a drafting game, very similar to Seven Wonders and Sushi Go. However, in this game, you're an architect working with your neighbors to build two cities, so hence the name Between Two Cities. But just like in real life, you're judged based on your failures. So when you're working with your neighbors, of course you want to try to have the best city you can possibly have. However, when it comes to scoring, you're based on your lowest scoring city. So my white friend Jake had a pretty good analog for this. You'll be working with your neighbor. You'll think like, oh, dudes, we're best buddies. We're gonna cross the finish line together. You build this great, wonderful city, and then at the end, when it comes to scoring, you'll be up on the podium, and you'll be sitting down there in squalor, and you'll be real sad. It is like both Sushi Go and Seven Wonders that like there are drafting synergies that like if you draft a bunch of yellow tiles, you'll get a bunch of points for drafting the yellow tiles. But it is unlike the game in the fact that you are working together with your teammates, or sort of teammates.
Yes, it definitely creates a more friendly atmosphere than Seven Wonders, where you're trying to work with your neighbors instead of trying to be more cutthroat and discard things from them or make it more difficult for them.
Right. So just like in Sushi Go or Seven Wonders, like you might be tempted to like take a card that you know your neighbor really needs, but you don't really need it, but it kind of works out. Or like you'll discard a card in Seven Wonders for gold, and it's like, oh, sorry, dude, you need that last piece of science? I'll take this 3 gold. Other than that, I really do like this game. So inside the box, you'll find your seating randomizer, your references, your single-player cards, which you don't really need. You've got your purple tiles that you'll be drafting with most of the time. You've got your orange tiles, which you'll be drafting with on this second round only, which have like a weird dynamic to the game. And then you've also got your city trackers. So let me tell you about some of the things that we really like about Between Two Cities. I do like this cooperative feel that you get in the game. It makes a much more friendly play environment than, like, let's say, Sushi Go or Seven Wonders, where everyone's just, like, sort of focused on their cards and just not really talking to each other. The other thing that I really do like about the game is a component that came in the game. It's a real hoot and a half. These player seating randomizers. It makes for some real fun moments. Like, for example, wake up time this morning. You'll have the people who are like, oh, yeah, I got up at 6. I got up at, like, 8. That'll be the one dude like, yeah, I got up at 2 o'clock. There's also the other one that I really do enjoy. It's Alphabetical by Last Book Read. Someone's like, oh, I read A Song of Ice and Fire. Another one's like, I read The Giver. Clearly, the last book they read was in high school, which I think is really silly.
What I like about the game is the whole fast-paced process with drafting that comes with the game. Now, it does take a while for you to figure out where you want to put the tiles after you've drafted them. But the quick drafting process lends to a much faster game in the end, which is something that I like.
That's true. Let's talk about some of the things that we didn't like. Well, one of the things I didn't really like about the game, and Joe was touching on this a little bit, was the fact that like two dudes can just like jerk each other off through like their cities. We got these two friends, Jake and Scott. They're sitting next to each other all the fucking time. Like, oh, dude, your city looks so great. What if we put this shop here? No, like, oh no, let's put it here just in case this happens. Like, oh no, let's put it this way. Fuck yourselves. What you can do to alleviate that problem is just use a sand timer. It's like, this is how much time you have to place your tiles. Other than that, it'll take fucking forever.
What I initially disliked about the game was that I felt like I didn't like the whole being judged by the worst city. I wanted it to be just make a really good city and be judged by that. But it does lend itself to...
So some sort of bad play behavior, right? Because if you're just putting all your good tiles in the right city, then you're like taking a good tile that's good for this city and like a whatever tile for your left city. Then you'll have like these sort of spots where it's like, oh well, this guy's city is starting to look really good. I'm gonna try and sabotage that. It wouldn't make for like a very good play experience. The other thing I didn't like about this game was the way the tiles fit in the box. All right, so I'm gonna have this little tile here just so I can show you like how perfectly it fits in the box, right? There is a board that comes in here, and I'll fucking show you how you have to keep the tiles in here, otherwise the box won't close. It just won't fucking close! Alright, so this is what your box is going to look like, you know, like just when it's sitting on the shelf. But you open it up. Oh, and there's the board. It looks really nice. But it's going to look like this on the inside. And I fucking hate this, because normally you're given a big dime bag, and like, okay, cool. You just put all the tiles in there. But because the tiles just come right up to the edge of the box, they're very flush with it. You put the board on top, it won't close properly. And it looks like dog shit. Fuck that! Oh my god!